Greta Van Fleet is quickly becoming one of the most successful rock bands, and they've done so in a relatively short amount of time. They've been together for a while, but it's only been the last couple of years, mainly the last year and a half, that they've broken into the mainstream, and with that have come some pretty assertive listeners who insist that the band sounds just like Led Zeppelin, including this clip of the Led Zeppelin frontman himself saying that as well.
There's a band in Detroit called Greta Van Fleet. It's like, the kid looks like he's just dropped out of a kind of beautiful little singer.
Yes.
Very smart.
He has got such a huge voice, that young fella.
And he borrowed it from somebody I know very well.
So with that, there has been somewhat of a strong narrative that the band Greta Van Fleet just can't escape. There are a lot of people who love the band, and then there are a lot of people who are naysayers, which tends to happen with just about every band that quickly becomes successful, particularly in the age of the bandwagon internet that we live in today. Not to say that their opinions about them sounding like Led Zeppelin aren't valid, but when a prevailing opinion seems to take footing, it kind of spreads like wildfire on the internet. But anyways, it's definitely reasonable to say that the band does sound like Led Zeppelin. But anyhow, in a new interview, the frontman of Greta Van Fleet is telling people that it is time to move on from telling them that they sound like Led Zeppelin. Speaking in a new interview with Rolling Stone, singer Josh Kiszka says, obviously we hear the similarity, that one of the influences of ours, but at this point it's like, okay, we've acknowledged that, let's move on. In reaction to the scathing Pitchfork review they received on their new album Anthem of the Peaceful Army, which gave them something like a 1.5 on a 10-point scale, the singer said that it's unfortunate that they'd be putting that energy out into the world, but it's their prerogative, I guess. Ultimately, I'd like to think that there's some substance to what we're doing. And of course, the band received a wealth of Grammy nominations, the Grammys being right around the corner. He was asked in this interview about the possibility of them performing at the Grammys, and he was tight-lipped. He said, there's been a little talk, but it's been very brief, and I don't know what is going to happen. And in the past, bands have teamed up with other acts, other legendary acts previously, so there is some speculation building that maybe there is a collaboration with some members of Led Zeppelin and Greta Van Fleet, a proverbial passing of the torch, so to speak. That would be interesting to see. So the question now goes to you. Are you a Greta Van Fleet fan? Do you think the Led Zeppelin comparisons are fair, and do you agree it is time to move on, or do you think that those are reasonable criticisms of the band? No less, Greta Van Fleet is definitely great for rock music. They are a band that could become a gateway band for other music fans who could go on to listen to other artists because they became fans of Greta Van Fleet. But anyhow, it's what you think that really matters. Let us know your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to click these recommended videos and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking hard rock and heavy metal news. Thanks as always for joining us here at Rock Feed, and we'll see you all very soon.